Alright, so last video I said I was going to create an original surface using just the survey point shapefile as it was without adding a berm or anything. You put in the ice corrections first and then you do this. But I've got a TIFF here and I'd like to add it into QGIS. So if I got QGIS here and I got my folder here, yep, I can drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. No, it's not working like it should. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. And we will go back. So raster Sedley, so I called it Sedley V3 original surface as to distinct it from the berm engineered surface. So this is the original. You could call it the unmodified surface. You could call it the initial surface. Just make it distinct so that we know it was the first one, and then the next one we'll call it modified surface or berm surface or something like that. So click open, click add. Now we've got it in there. Right on. So we'll drag it down here. Drag it down here. There we go. Now we got it in there. So from here, we're going to want to do contours. So that, and contours are going to help us kind of visualize the lay of the land here. These ones are just going to be 0.25 meters apart, I think. Or should it be 0.2? And then we're going to save our contours to temporary, or no, we want to save this to our folder here. GIS files, shape files, and we're going to call this Sedley V3 again. Contours, or original. Whereas the other one was called original surface, we're going to call this original contours. And we're going to want to make sure that's the shapefile. Sedley V3 original contours. Save. Run. Oh, no input layer. Band 1. Now we can click run. Alright, so we got some pretty contours. So if I just turn off the surface, okay, that doesn't, let's make them, let's change the color. Let's make these bright red. 1 point. And then turn off the points because we don't need them right now. So now we've got lots of contours in there, which is going to give us a lot more information than what we had before. Just keep in mind that this is basically, it's quite literally a model, and it's not necessarily reality, if that makes sense. It's modeling a surface off of the points that we've given it. So it's always important to remember that. This isn't a LiDAR survey where we've got such accurate points, but this is pretty close to reality, but it doesn't exactly match it. So, but the thing is, we can answer our questions this way and get pretty close. So if I click on this information identify feature, we can check out one of these contours, and it tells us the elevation. It's at 581.8. And then the next one, 581 point, or 582, 582.2, 582.4. Oops. Zoom in, or see, have two selected. 3997. That's a problem. Well, that's not a problem, but anyway. So we're going to be looking at the contour that best matches the extent that we would probably like to flood So the one that I've got selected here, this brighter red one, that one looks like it pretty closely matches the area that we'd like to flood. You know, with a little exception of coming all the way out here, but it matches more than anything else. And I mentioned earlier that the other side was going to be a little more tricky because of how complex it is. You see how this one, you know, it comes in, it goes around, and it goes out. Whereas this one's got pockets everywhere, and it's complex, and it's not easy. This one just looks so easy in comparison. Okay, so if we know that we want to get to 582.6 from a wetland that's going to be about 581.8 deep, that's going to give us a depth of 0.8 meters, which I guess we were talking on the phone and we were saying cattails kind of like that kind of depth. So that's good. So this one's just as deep as this one, and I guess it should also be noted that this survey V3 that I've got here, Sedley V3, I don't think it includes the ice corrections, so it might be a little deeper. But now we're going to move on to adding the berm in the next video.